And hi everybody, welcome to this stream. I'm happy to host you today. Uh, we are together, I think, for something like 1 hour, maybe 1 hour and a half. It depends how many times I need to execute all the things I have prepared, and if I speak a bit too much or not. I used to speak a bit too much, so probably that it will take more than 1 hour. But well, we are together. We are in a good mood, so it will be very fun, and I hope you will learn a lot of things. So I didn't stream for a while. I think for 3 months right now, especially because probably you already know that, but I my wife gave birth of my daughter, so this is I'm dad for the full time right now, and yeah, when a baby comes into your home, you need to change your habits and to take time to organize yourself differently. So this is probably the main reason why I didn't find any time enough to do it. But some things have changed until this moment, and right now, and especially at Entando, I moved to a new position. I'm now in the Entendo content team. So we created this team very soon, a few weeks ago, and as a developer advocate, I will probably have more possibilities to stream about Nintendo, maybe Chipster or open sources project. Also, maybe a few things around that too. For the moment, I don't plan all the things for that, but I probably will do a lot of things. Great to see you again. Yeah, thank you, Fanj. I'm happy to see you again. Yeah, just only a quick sim for me. Back to work, of course. Yeah, this video will be available, yeah, of course, on Twitch, but I will also upload it on the Nintendo YouTube. So if you want to watch it entirely, probably that's check my Twitter account, and I will share you the final link on YouTube in the next days. So well, the good point is, no, I have probably dedicated time to stream about cool things I can prepare, even if it was already the case in the past. I have a lot of funny things I want to share with you, so I'm very happy. I'm very exciting, and especially today, I'm very exciting to be here. So I don't want to talk too much. I guess I hope the video is okay. So as you can see, I also bought a green screen. So I'm testing the green screen today. So I hope everything will be okay. So the green screen allow me to display my my desktop on full screen and to enjoy more space to work. So let's go directly into the coding scene, the new coding scene. So this is the new coding scene. So now we can see that we have the desktop on the full screen, and we have more places to work and to display things. So I guess, and I hope it will be good, but I did a lot of tests, so I hope so. So today, what is the plan and what you should learn today? So the goal is to introduce many things. I want to introduce you the Nintendo component generator, that is basically the Chipster blueprint, the Nintendo Chipster blueprint, to check exactly what is blueprint and what this ECG generate for you regarding the code also, but also the bundles. Also the bundle that is generated by this blueprint, and check a little bit also the microfontends that come with, and deploy them on a Nintendo application, and yeah, also test it, build it. I don't know, many other things probably. And yes, and finally we will create a new page that will include directly these microfontends. and of course the microservice that run behind. Okay, so all the things that we will see today are taken from this documentation. So you can get all these commands, all the commands I will use, you can get them directly in this documentation here. So probably we can use the new 1.3.3.2, the new version, even if I don't think that this documentation have changed have changed so much between the 6.3 the 6.3.2. And so you can each step will be have been taken from this documentation, so you can get a look at that and run this on your own environment too. So if you want to execute the same tutorial I will do, the same things, and if you want to do the same things I will do today, what you need, so you need to have a running Entando application. You need to install the CLI here. So yeah, I already have the CLI installed, so I will not demonstrate it today, because then also it probably take time to install everything, so I will not execute it. Just let you know that you can run this command here. So you just need to click here to copy this command and run it on your own computer, so you can get the CLI here. And then you need to run the ent. So the CLI is the ent CLI, so you can access to it, you can use it by use the ent command here. And you need then to check the environment. So you need to run the ent checkout develop, and by doing this you will probably install more things like the Gypsy blueprint. So this step is mandatory, and sometimes it can take a few time to execute it. So for the same reason, I already did it on my environment. The documentation gives you some tips about the available commands here, so I don't want to go too in details on this part. And especially if you want to check and want to learn more about the NCLI, I suggest you to go into the blog Entando here, and we have a bundle series, so you can check the bundle series directly on this blog, and we have few articles that will be published in the next weeks. The first one is already present here, so I can share it with you on this chat maybe. This is the micro learning series, so you can learn a lot of things about the NCLI if you want, but for the moment we will not go too deeper in the details about it. Maybe just use a few commands here. So you need to have the CLI, you need to have the Entando running application. So also if you have the CLI present, you can use directly, if I go switch to this, you can use directly this command here. So I will also share it with you on the chat. You can use this command here, and this will automatically create a virtual VM with the last Entando and the Kubernetes and all the Docker images you need to have to run the Entando. For doing this, of course, you need to have also installed multipass. Oh no, not this multipass one. This one. You need to have this multipass here. So I suggest you, if you want to run virtual machines here on your computer, multipass is really great, and I'm using it every day. So you just need to install the multipass, install the CLI, and then run this command, and you will in 15 minutes you will have a running Entando application. You can access it directly according to the URL you will have. So for me is this one. It depends on your environment, but when you install the Entando, we give you the right URL. Okay, and you can access to this application. This is your Entando application, and from this place you can create pages. You can check the microfontaiens you have. You can check the microfontaiens and widgets. Basically, microfontaine is a widget in the Entando in a Entando application. You can check each bundle you have installed and each component you have by checking the repository. So our goal today is to deploy here a new bundle that contains microfontaines, so widgets, so Entando components. All these things are Entando components, and install it to create a new page here to access to these microfontaines. So for example, just quick things. For example, if I can, I don't know, maybe I can just show you if I check this page. So this page comes directly with a fresh Entando installation. So this is an example of what a page can be. Oh, this page is a blank one, so probably is not the good thing. I should rather show you this page. Okay, so this page, for example, is coming with the default Entando application, and you can display contents here or microfontaines. So our goal is to display our microfontaine that will be generated with the Entando component generator, so the Gypsum blueprints. And we will do it right now. Good. Okay, so if you have some question, feel free to ask in the chat. I'm not displaying the chat on the stream. Well, I mean on the stream rendering, because well, to be honest, I tried some way to do it with this new Canva, and I was not very confident because it's look a bit strange, a bit weird. So if you want to ask some question, if you want to ask something, so feel free to use the chat, and I will for sure read it and try to answer you as much as possible, as the best I can do. Okay, here we go. So now we need to leave our Entando application because there is a lot of things to do before deploying the components, of course, and the next step and first step will be to create and set up the application. So you can do it, and I will follow this documentation step by step. So I just need to click here, and the first thing I want is I'm on my TMP folder. I like to use TMP folder to create project, but if you do it, please avoid to do something I did in the past, is create something you want to keep, then restart your computer because you have, for example, I don't know, you need to restart it, or you need to install a new patch, and then you lost everything. So if you use the TMP folder, please be sure to save what you have before restart your computer. Anyway, I will create a new folder that the name is the test project. So this will be our project. Oh yeah, I forgot things. We need also, so I said you need to have the multipass, you need to have the NCLI, and so to create a new instance of the an Entando application. But you also need a GitHub repository, a Git repository. Anyway, it could be GitHub. In my case, I will use GitHub. You need a Git repository on which we will deploy the bundle, this bundle project. So for the moment, this one is empty, and I called it test project bundle. So by convention, we use the name of the project, then dash, then bundle. Okay, but you can choose anything you want if something is clearer for you. And also you need a Docker Hub account, because we will push the Docker image, or a Docker image. I don't want to, well, I need to keep some surprises, but you need to have an account here and to be able to push new images. Okay, so just to be sure, it's better to have them before starting anything. So now I have created set up my project directory, so I can run I can run the Chipster blueprint directly from the end. Yeah, question, maybe why we should run this Chipster version and blueprint from the end CLI. A good point from this NCLI is that this Chipster version and this blueprint comes directly from the CLI version you installed before. Okay, so if you use the end CLI here, you are sure to use the right Chipster version and the right blueprint version, and of course the right version that's worked together. And also another good point also is that this Chipster version and this blueprint version don't don't change anything on your environment. I mean, you don't have any conflict with any Chipster or blueprint version you already have on your own npm version. So the Entando CLI wrap this version, so you can use this command safely. So I strongly advise you to use this kind of commands, but you can also use directly Chipster and the blueprint outside the NCLI. Okay, good. So I am on my test project folder. I need to run the oh, my green screen is not very good now. Maybe I need to add some lights, maybe. Let me just check that. What about that? Oh, it's better. Yeah. Well, I'm not a green screen expert, to be honest. So I need to do some test. It seems to be better. Okay. Well, you need to. So I will run directly these things. The first step is the NCLI is telling me that we do not initialize any project here. So do you want? Yes, I want to initialize it. The project name, test project, is correct. It's coming from the folder name. So for me, I will keep it. Just need to enter, but you can change the name by choosing your own one. Okay, and then we'll launch directly the Chipster with the blueprint. So if you are already if you already used Chipster in the past, you know exactly what this step here is and what you need to do. Nothing that choose your different options. Choose the different options you want to use with your blueprints and with Chipster, and what you want to have as a final application, Java backend application. Even if we have some specific Entando question we will discover here. Okay, so my application name is test project is correct. The default port is 8081, so for me is okay. Default Java package name com Entando sample. Let's say it's okay. You can put anything you want, but for me, I will basically use the default values here. I can choose an SQL database. The default is MySQL and H2 in development. Use the caffeine implementation for the cache. Okay. I want to enable the second level cache. Yes. Other technologies, no. Nothing in particular. And what name you want to give to the bundle to share on the Entando component repository? So this question is Entando related, of course, and it's coming directly from the blueprint. So if you want to change the bundle name, you can decide to give another name here. But of course, the default name is the project name -bundle, just like I said before. Good. Which is the organization name to use when publishing the Docker image. So this step is mandatory. You need to give a name. You need to give your organization name. So it can be something that doesn't exist. We are not checking if this Docker organization does exist. But as in our case, because we want to publish the Docker image, we need to be sure that this organization exists. In my case, I just show you my GitHub account, Docker, no, the Docker account, and my organization is avdev4j. So I need to use the avdev4j here. Okay, very simple, just avdev4j. Okay, oh no, avdev4j. Okay, click. And then would you like to generate microfrontends when creating entities? So these blueprints allow us to generate the backend, the microservice, but also some front-ends applications with the microfrontends pattern linked to the entities we will create. Then we will create. So you can decide to create a microfrontend, well, several microfrontends per entity every time you create a new entity. Or you can also decide to never generate any microfrontends, or of course to answer the question every time you create a new entity. So in this case, I say that I will use the default value, so I will use the always answer. It's up to you. Okay, internationalization. Yeah, we want to take English, then everything default, and okay, we are done with it. So we have a conflict, of course, because the CLI create by default to git ignore, and Gipster create a new one also. So we need to overwrite. Yes, we can overwrite by answering yes. Okay, so now the application is generated and everything has been getting back. So install, I mean the npm command is running. So this means you can open this application and check a bit what it contains. Perfectly, I have my IntelliJ open here, so I can open a new project. I need to go into my TMP folder, and as I remember, it was test project here. Perfect. Yeah, trust project, of course. This is my own project. Okay. Oh, yeah, we need to wait a little bit because IntelliJ is loading the application, and sometimes it could take a lot of time. The only strange things I can see is why I have a blank page here. Okay, it seems I have some troubles to render. Well, it's IntelliJ, so maybe what happens if I open a file here, package.json? I have something strange here. I think I need to restart IntelliJ again. Okay, test project. Yeah, better. Well, it happens sometimes. I don't know exactly why, but it happens sometimes. Anyway, it's not very important here. Okay, I will close this. Why do I have something here? It seems I modified the packages and maybe I didn't. Okay, I don't want to do it. Good. So this is our application. So if you're familiar with Spring Boot application, you will probably or Gipster application, of course, you will probably find everything you already know. So you have the sources folder, main, all the Java code here with the main classes here to launch the Spring Boot application. No, I don't want to run the npm install. And you have the test, of course, resources with the different configurations, whatever you have. I think we have the default domain object with abstract entity, persistent entity. Anything else? The Docker Compass file to run, for example, the Keycloak and MySQL, Sonar, and etc. So a lot of this code is coming directly from Gipster. some of this one is also coming from the Entando blueprint. There is nothing specific here, I mean, regarding the code sources. But if you check this file, I mean, well, this folder, you can see that we have a bundled folder. And a few minutes before, I said that we will use the bundled folder, bundle to deploy our application. Hey, Akanoa, thank you. Welcome back. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, Akanoa is coming here. So I'm happy to see you again. Yeah, so you can check that we have a bundle folder here, and in this bundle we have main descriptor. So if you want to know exactly what bundles here, yeah, probably you probably need to check the Entando blog also, because I wrote an article, kind of introduction of what bundles are in the Entando environment, and this descriptor is the main bundle file that will be read by the Entando application to know what exactly it needs to be deployed. Okay, to be deployed. It will deploy everything that is present here. The microservices are considered as plugins, as a plugins component. And the welcome conf is really interesting. Oh yeah, so good, because I will create some for my demo. I will create some conference entities, so I will probably add the welcome here. A lot of practical topics, good points. I will probably take a look also. I didn't remember that there is the welcome today. Okay, so we have the component plugins, and the basically the plugins is an application that's running as a backend. So in our case, it's our microservice. And so we have the main descriptor, and we have the plugin descriptor that is a specific descriptor that's only manage the plugin part. So in my case, we can see that we have the image description here. So this will help to get the image back when it would come to run the application. And some of details, but I have also wrote an article and give every details you want to know about the each component, the plugins, the widgets, the fragments, and anything else in the Entando components. So I will not spend too much on these files. No, the only things we need to understand is we generate the backend code, we generate the bundle definition that is basically the Entando as code. So when it will come to deploy these components, this plugin and the microfrontend related, but we will check the microfrontend in a few minutes. The most interesting thing is the bundle will help you to deploy it into the Entando just by using few commands. The next conf is about DevSecOps. Good. We need security. Okay, so I have my backend code, so I need to add a new entity. No, I don't want to have that. I need to have the new entity. So you can, for example, the default one is the conference. I will use it, but you can create any entity you want. It depends on your business use case. So I just need to copy that. Chipster entity conference. So this means I want to create a new entity that the name is conference. And then I will answer a few questions to define each field or any details I want to have in my entity. So do you want to have a field? Yeah, of course I want to add a field. The name is name. So I want to give a name to my conference, welcome, for example. What is the type of your field? This is a string. Do you want to add validation rules? Not for the moment, but I can add. I can say that, for example, this is mandatory. The max length is maybe 10 characters or anything else. Then the second field is oh, my light is a bit too much. Okay. Do you want to add a field to? Yeah. and we can loop in this question unless you don't need to add new field. Well, I want to add a new field. I want to add a new field that is a date, because my conference have a name, as a name, and as a date. Okay, and it could be, for example, instant. No validation rule for the moment. Do you want to add a field? No, I don't need any more. I don't think anything else. Do you want to add relationship to another entity? In this case, well, I only have one entity, so in this case, so I don't want to add the relationship, but in some cases, probably that yes, I want to add some relationship. So in this case, I will answer no, but it depends on your cases. And then you can choose to use the repository directly at the REST controller, in the REST controller, or use a separate service class, or even use interfaces and implementations. This is a demo, so I don't want to spend too many times, and I don't need to have a separate service classes, but it depends. Well, I will use the REST controller directly in the repository. Is this entity read-only? No, of course. I want to add something in it. Do we want to add pagination? No. So we have conflict. We need to override these files, and then we run the npm install again. So we have created a lot of files here. We will check right now what these files are exactly. And I think I need to probably this is automatically refreshing. Good. No, refresh. Yeah, sometimes it can take time from IntelliJ to refresh exactly to where we'll read from disk. So if you check, if we check the source main Java and domain, I have my conference here. Why using npm and not yarn? Yeah, npm is coming direct. Well, when using Gipster, before Gipster 7, you had the choice between npm and yarn, and the only problem is when you have to maintain different tools and different configuration that come with, sometimes it could be an issue. It's quite hard, because every time you need to change something, you need to change for npm, for example, and you need to change also for yarn. So it could be it make the maintenance harder, and because we are talking about open source project, we all know that it's a bit difficult to be sure that everything will be upgraded as it should be, and at the same time. So we decide to remove the yarn, but I think you can still use yarn. You can still use yarn, yes, because yarn can use package log, package JSON file, I guess. I didn't use yarn a lot, so I think you can still use yarn, but well, in the past we decided to add yarn also because a lot of features were present in yarn and not in npm. But to be honest, I feel that no, npm is quite equivalent, and it comes directly with node, so you don't need to install something else. So this is why we decided to remove yarn in the new version. I need to drink some water. So this is my conference entity. It comes with my two fields, the name and the date. And this is my Java entity Bojo. I also have all the REST layer here available, generated by Gipster, and contains few endpoints, like get all the conferences, add the new conferences, delete the conferences, and etc. And because I decide to generate a micro frontend, so this is an Entando feature. I decided to generate a micro frontend. Every time I create a new entity, I have a new folder here at the root level that contain widgets and the entity name. And for this entity, I have 3 different micro frontends. So each micro frontend is basically a React application that exposes the application by by a custom element. So you can check everything here. You can check the component. You can check, I don't know, what it contains, and etc. So, and also I think we have the index HTML in public, I guess. Yes, here. And this is the conference details, for example. So the default one are the details, the form, and the table. So details is more for the read, from some read actions. Form is to create new or add new elements, and table to render a collection of elements. And yeah, as I said, when it comes to use this component, you can check that we have the conference details here. This is the custom element that is used to render the component in an HTML page. But well, we don't want to use this for the moment. The only things I want to show you is, as Gipster generates a lot of backend things, we are generating a lot of micro frontend things. And if you, for example, if we check the table widget, we can also check that there is some bundle definitions here. So this is the bundle descriptor that basically describe what this widget is by the code titles, and also by giving the custom UI path that is the free marker template that we'll use to render the HTML in our Entando application. So just to resume this, when we will deploy this component, we will this descriptor will be used to know exactly what we want to deploy, and this free marker template will be used to exactly know what we want to render in our page. Okay, but we can't deploy it directly. We need to do few steps before. So I have my conference and 3 different widgets that are basically micro frontends here. Okay, I think this is clear. We can go ahead, and the next step will be to build. So this command nprg build is a great command, because by one command you can build your backend, your Docker image, and each micro frontend you have. I will run it directly because it can take a little bit of time, of course. So the first step is this will building the front end. So each micro front end, we can see that we have the table, details, and form widgets. We have all the micro front end present in our application, and it will get all the artifact back, generate all the things, upgrade the bundle to add everything in it, and generate the Docker image and push this Docker image into your local Docker repository. So basically, this command will replace 3 different npm install and npm build prod and things with the Maven one and the Docker one. So you just need to run this, take a coffee, get time for you, just wait. This process is totally complete. Okay. So what did the documentation tell us? Build a new project. Using the nprj wrapper saves having to build each part of the project individually. The first one can be slower due to node downloads for any micro frontends. Okay, that's true. It's a bit longer. Okay, maybe we can go back to the code and probably check what do we have. So I said that I just want to, okay, we have the target. Each bundle, so just to let you know, we have the bundle definitions of each microfontaines present in the microfontaine itself. But we want them to be moved back to the main bundle folder. Why? Why? Because this bundle folder represents the whole, what can I say? Represent all the components we will push, we will deploy and install into our Entando application. Oh, I can see that IntelliJ is checking the file, so I guess we have new files. So it seems that, oh, this is why it seems that the building is moving so fast. Okay, so it seems that, okay, we are finished. Good. So we can check that. Okay, clean. You can see exactly what happened here. If I just go back, we can see that we have the build Docker image to the Docker daemon. Just like I said, the build is success. This is a good point. And what happened before? I think if you, well, we have a lot of logs because of the Maven compilation. And yes, the first thing. So the first thing was to build the different React applications. Okay, so let's go back to the code and just check what we have. So I just want to be sure I have all the things I need to reload from disk. Please. Oh yeah, it's scanning. So it should be refreshed in a few minutes. 1, 2, 3. In a few seconds. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Please refresh. No. You don't want to refresh my code. I know that sometimes IntelliJ takes times to refresh exactly what we have. But we have everything on the target. Why the bundle is not refreshed? Oh, well, no, I'm missing some files here. Please. Ah, okay, it's still indexing. It seems that, okay, here we go. Yeah, I know that indexing files can take times, especially with IntelliJ. So sometimes your IntelliJ cannot be totally synchronized when you are generating a lot of files here. So we just need to be patient. In this case, so yeah, I said that we have the plugin here. So this has not been changed anything, but the descriptor have changed, have been updated, and now contains the different widgets. So the build step doesn't only generate the artifacts, but also upgrade the bundle definition to ensure that we have all the components present in the bundle. So we need to run this. We need to run this command. This is mandatory if we want to be sure that we have all the components here. And we have 2 new folders here. So the first one we can check is the UI. So just like I said, we have a bundle here. Build. We have a bundle here, and we wanted to move these files back into this bundle because we need to have all these definition files into the same folder. And you will understand exactly why in a few minutes. So I don't think this file is very different from the previous one. Maybe the FreeMarker template is a bit different because we now include all the JavaScript artifacts with the CSS here. So when we will deploy these components, we will not only use these custom elements, but also include the script and the CSS files. And these CSS files, you can see that they are test project bundle static. So if I go into the resources, I can check that there is a static file. And yes, the resources folder, when we will deploy it, will be renamed into the test project bundle, our bundle name. So the resources will be renamed and all the files under it are available like this. So the static is the same folder here, and we can see that we have the JavaScript folder that contains, I think it's 3 different JavaScript files per entity, per micro frontend. So we'll directly include it here. And by doing this, we can be sure that our components can be rendered in HTML page. Okay, so this is the build phase. Now we need to move to the publish phase, because I have everything that can be used on a Nintendo application locally, but I need to be sure that these things can be reached by the Entando application. So what is the next step? The next step is to prepare and publish a bundle. And this is where we will use the GitHub and Docker Hub repository. So I need to run the ant-prg publish init. Let's go. I just want to clear it. So this is this? Yeah, it seems to be big enough. Good. ant-prg publish init. And the first thing is provide the URL of the publication repository. So the publication repository should be a Git repository you created before here, and you need to just copy this Git URL. Just a quick note here. Please use the HTTPS URL unless you can't use the SSH with the Ant CLI. You need to use the HTTPS, so be sure that you can use it. So just copy it just like this. Provide your Git username is avday4j. Email, I will use a fake email here anyway. Should I enable the credential? Yes, cache. So I don't want to use, I want to use the same credential. I can use the cage. Expiration in seconds. I can use the default one. Good. So the branch has been pushed on the GitHub repository. We can see it here. And if I'm refreshing this, I can see that I have the descriptor and the plugins. So the descriptor is here. Okay. And the plugins is the plugin descriptor with the image and anything we saw before. But you will tell me why we don't have any JavaScript or bundled micro frontend files. This is the next step. This we only run the ant-prg publish init. So the first step, init the repository and the credential, anything else, and push the default folder, the default descriptor, the default files. But then we need to publish all these files. So the init and the publish, well, you can't publish without doing any init, I guess. So then we need to publish it, and it comes to give a bundle version number. So we need to keep in mind that in this case we are publishing. So this means we all the dev are done, and we just need to be sure. We just want to make this bundle available for everybody, and we will make it available for everybody under a specific version number. So if you want to use the same numbers as Git does when you tag a new version, yeah, because this command will tag your bundle, you need to use v and the same var pattern. So in this case, it could be v001. Okay, you can add a comment. For example, this is my first version. Okay, good. And that's all. You don't need to do anything else. The version is published on GitHub. The backend is published on Docker Hub directly. And we can check it directly, but that's all. Everything is made to make your life easier. So if you check that, you can see that we have the plugins, still have the plugins. We have the resource static files and the JavaScript files as we saw before. And we have the different micro frontends, descriptor, and free market templates. The templates here and the descriptor here. This is exactly the same file I presented you a few minutes ago. And now the publication is complete. Oh, yeah. Well, I forgot to show you the Docker image ls command before. So as you can see, 10 minutes ago, so during the build, after the build, well, during the build phase, our image has been pushed into our local repository, and then the publish will take this image and push it directly into our GitHub organization. So if you check the Docker Hub, you can see that I have 2 images, and if I refresh it, I will should have 3. Yeah, a new one, test project. So this is our backend application, and this application will be pushed. Well, this image will be pulled, excuse me, not push, pulled, to be sure that this will run on Kubernetes on a pod. Okay. So just to be sure where we are here, we generate the application by starting generating the backend microservice with the default bundle. Then we added a conference entity with few fields in it. This this entity create also, well, the entity generate also create different micro frontends. So you can see here. And for each micro frontend, we also have the bundle definitions. Then we decide to build the whole application. So this build step generated the Docker image and each JavaScript files, CSS files, and I think so. This is for each micro frontend, and generates a bundle, a correct bundle, a good bundle we can use, and also update the different free market templates. Then we publish all the artifacts on GitHub. So this is my test project bundle, and tag it. So I have a new version of my project, the V001, and also push the Docker image on the Docker Hub. So I'm here, I have publish, init the publish, and execute the publish. And now I can deploy it into my Entando bundle. So we need to define 2 different things here. We have the deploy step. We need to deploy a bundle. So deploy the bundle mean make it available in the Entando component repository. So we have a component repository that will register all the components you can install on your application. But when you deploy it, this not mean that you will use the bundle. So you need to deploy and to install. So this is deploy and install are two different steps. One to make it available in the component repository, and one to make the components that are in your bundles available into your application. For doing this, we need to so first we need to deploy. We need to deploy the application, and then we need to install. And this documentation is a bit outdated because this this command, we should not use this command anymore. I'm saying updated because I'm working on upgrading this documentation to add the new ent deploy commands. And just to understand what happened exactly here, we are generating the custom resource. The custom resource is a way to tell to Kubernetes, we want to create something that a custom resource of something that is not coming with Kubernetes by default. That is, in our case, is the Entando custom resource, and then we are telling to Kubernetes to apply this custom resource. But as I said, we will not use this command anymore. We have something that replaces these things. But just to let you know what exactly the custom resource is, I can run this command here. So this will only generate the custom resource on my terminal, but will not use it. So this is what the custom resource looks like. So this is this custom resource in Entando bundle. We have the bundle name, we have the bundle type, we have some specs, and we have the versions. So each version present here are matching with a tag that exists on our GitHub project here. So in the tag here. So when we did the publish tab, we choose a version, a tag version. And this tag is present here, so you can use it. And when it comes to install a bundle, you can choose to install between the different versions if you have different ones. In this case, we only have the one, so we will not have the choice. But if you have different version, you can choose to select one or another one version. Okay. So this is the custom resource, and this custom resource will be applied directly into. I will clear my console. They will apply directly into the Kubernetes. But as I said, we can make it easier to use and to understand just by use this command and PRG deploy. This command will do exactly what the whole command, if I can say this is the whole command, but is to generate the custom resource and to apply it directly into your Entando application. So this is very fast, and the project and the custom resource has been created. So if I just take a look of my app builder, now if I refresh this components repository, if I refresh the page, I will be able to see my bundle here if everything is okay. Where? We got it. So we get it. So now we have the test project bundle available. We can see that the last version is the V001 and the message. This is the test project bundle. Okay, good. And we can see that we have what we have inside. We have microservices. We have the bundle, of course. We have micro frontends and widgets. Good, exactly what we created before, what we generated before. So this smells good. And we can click on the install button to install it, of course, or we can decide to do it directly, not here in the with the Ent CLI. So for example, we can decide to use not the deploy in this case, but the install and PRG install. And the installation can take time, so instead of watching this moving to and to be when the install is finished, I have a few things I want to show you before. But well, we can run the installation also directly like this, and if I'm refreshing the UI, I can check that the installation is in progress. Okay, so I think it can take, maybe in our case, it can take 5 minutes. So instead of waiting for 5 minutes, I will open a new terminal, and I just want to show you how you can easily start any application with the Ent CLI. Okay, so let me check the code. I need to, okay, I just want to check something, so I don't have anything. Okay, run locally. I need to have it here. So to run the project locally, you can also check the documentation. We have all the things that, and you can run everything in 3 different commands. So it's very easy. The first command will be to start the keycloak. Okay, of course you need to be on your project folder. It's a good point. So you need to be in your project folder, of course, and you need to, the first things will be to start the keycloak. So the keycloak basically here is a Docker Compose file that is generated by Gipster. And if you run the npr-g keycloak start, it will start the keycloak as a container. Then you can run the backend directly by run the npr-g backend test run. I have to be honest right now, sometimes on my environment, I don't know why, the backend can access to the keycloak. I guess I have some trouble with network things in Docker, and sometimes I need to stop the keycloak, create a new one, etc. So I hope this will not happen because, well, it's not really a problem. We just need, I know exactly what I should do, but sometimes it's just that we are losing time during our testing phase. Okay, it seems to be okay. H2. The application is starting. Swagger is starting. Yeah, everything is correct. Okay, so we will not need to do any strange things with the keycloak. But I know that I have sometimes this problem with my keycloak. So I don't know exactly why. Joy of UI. Hey, I love the new streaming setup. Yes, thank you. I also have issues with my Docker networking. Yeah, I well, just to understand a little bit more about the new streaming setup. As I said, I bought a green screen, and it allowed me to have a better screen. It's great improvement, even if it's quite hard to make it to have a good rendering with it. So I mean, you need to have a lot of light. So I have a light here that's basically light the green screen, but even with that is not enough because you can see that I have green things around me. It's not too bad, but it can be improved, and it really depends on the light I have on my room. So sometimes I need to push the lights more or to have less light. It's very the sensibility is very high on these things. Well, anyway, I also have issues with my Docker networking. Yeah, I think here is, I guess that sometime, well, because I'm starting my keycloak and I'm in the project, well, the application can't access to my keycloak, even if my keycloak is running and I have no error. So I need to start a new keycloak, a new keycloak version, and kill everything and start everything. So just like I need to, it will reset the Docker, different Docker Compose, Docker networking. So I guess sometimes there is things that's still running on the background, and I don't know exactly why these things happen. But anyway, in this case, it doesn't happen. And if sometimes it's happened, I know exactly what I need to do. So we say that the test project is running, and we can check directly here. So we have no UI, of course, because this is a microservice, so you don't have anything specific here. So I think you can access to the Swagger. Yeah, we have this Swagger here, but there is, for example, with the conference resources. But unless that, of course, it's only backend code that is running. If you want to run the front-end code, I mean the macro front-end code, you need to open a new one. I will. And run the npr-g front-end test run. So very close to what we have before, because we have the npRG backend test run, and here it's the npRG frontend test run, and run it. The only difference is that you will be able to choose each microfrontend you want to run in the list. So you can give a number. In my case, I want to run the table widget. So this will run the React application, and I think the default port is 300. So we will be able to access it to the 300 port. Oh yes, you can run many. You can start many microfrontend at the same time, only because the direct application, if the 300 port is already used, will allow you to increment it and to use the 301, for example, then 302, and etc. Okay, so my application is started, but not on the right screen. I need to log myself. The default login is admin, and you can see that this is a basic table rendering, but you can see that I have some conference. So I have Gypster in development provides some use the fake.js library. So this fake.js library injects fake data according to the data type you have, and so you can have some default data to play with. So we can delete one here, for example. But for the moment, of course, we cannot add a new one because this is a micro frontend and this only manage the table one. I don't want to explain it to demonstrate everything here. I just wanted to explain you that if you want to run this application locally, this is possible, and you don't need to deploy it every time you want to check if something works or if you make some changes. You can make the changes first and then test locally and tag, publish, and etc. So we can close everything, I guess. Here, good. Okay, the installation is complete. So it was a good point because we did the demonstration that we can run everything locally, and in the meantime, the installation is complete. So we will be able to use the same backend and micro frontends here. Maybe the first things I want to what is good with Restream is lighting. In winter you can't catch cold, but in summer it's the hell on earth. My mistake was not to have a LED panel to light me. Oh yeah. I have two LED panels. I have two LED panels, and basically I use both to light myself. But because I have my green screen, I use one to light the green screen. But I think one is not enough, because you can see that this part of my face is more lighted because the light is here, and this is I need to turn the light higher than the one I have on my face, just because I need to be sure that the green screen is well lighted. But the only problem I have is because I have only one, so the color is not very balanced. So I think this green here is a bit different from this one on this part, because the light is not exactly the same. So the best thing I should do is to buy another panel to light both sides on the same way. But well, to be honest, it's quite expensive, and also for the moment it's quite correct. So because it's the afternoon right now, so I have also the natural light, so this is why it's working. I'm not sure that if I'm doing the same in the evening when I have no light, natural light, I probably need to add more light from another source. Maybe I need to check that. Well, just conversation about light, but maybe I will do a stream on all these things because it's quite interesting. So, and I guess that a lot of people are wondering what should I do for doing this, what is the bad things, etc. All of people are asking that, and you can find a lot of content on the internet, of course, but it's also a good point when you can have feedback from live. Okay. So I said that we are on the app builder, and now our bundle is installed. So you can see it because the button is uninstall. So instead of install, you have uninstall. This means our bundle is installed right now. So everything we had locally and we pushed on different repository are not retrieved, have been retrieved back in the Entando application. We can check that here in the microfrontend and widgets. So we have several microfrontends or widget present here by default, but we can see that under the user section, you have everything that are coming from the bundles you have installed. And especially here, the conference details form and table. So exactly what we generated before. So this is the microfrontends. The only things is the other things that remains is the microservice. You can't display the microservice in the UI. So to know if the microservice is running, you need to, for example, use you can access, for example, if you have OpenShift, you can access to the OpenShift UI, or here to use the Ant CLI and well, the kubectl, for example, just by getting the pods. And if you're getting the pods, you can see that I have my project, test project. I have two pods that are running. The first one is for the database, and the second one is for the server. So basically, the microservice itself. Okay, so here, because I have installed my bundle, it installed the JavaScript microfrontends and create two new pods, one for the database, one for the server. Okay, so this is good, but I need to use this microfrontend. I need to create probably a new page. So for doing this, I can access directly into the page and page management menu and add a new page here. I can test project. Okay, I can select where I want the page to be created. So on the home page, it's okay for me. The owner group can be something else than the default one. In my case, probably I can use the free access. And the page template, this is very important because the page template is basically how you will be able to put the different elements on your page. So Entando comes with different possibilities, one columns, and two columns. And also we have specific page, for example, a home page, a content page, a single frame page, and etc. And you can create your own one. You can decide to, if you go into the page templates here, you can decide to create your own template and apply it to your page, to your pages, of course. So in my case, I want to keep it simple. I will to use the 1-2 column page, 1-2 columns template, and then I can click on save and design. Or you can see it because I'm save and design because I'm in front of this button. But anyway, just click on save and design. And then you can access to the design page. And this is why I said, is this the 1-2 columns? So you have two different columns here, and you can put the elements on each frame you want. There are some specific frames here for the logo, navigation menu, search, login, and so this is the default frames. Of course, you can put everything you want here, but the idea is to also guide the users on putting the right things on the right place. In our case, we will keep it simple as possible and just only put the microfontaine's on the different frame present here. So I said I want the table widgets probably at this here, and the second things I want the conference from widgets here. Oh yeah, for the same reason, just to let you know, here, okay. At the right, you have all the widgets available in your Entando application, and you can see that under the user section, you can see that you have the different widgets we installed before. So you just need to click and to drag and drop into your page on the frame you want to be applied. Okay. And now I can publish it and click on view published page. So I can access directly to the page, and this page contains my two different microfontaine's. Okay, for the moment I don't have any content, of course, because if I said by default on development you have fake data, you are not in development here, you are in production mode. So in production, fake data is disabled. And if you want to add something, for example here, you can say we have the volcamp. So the volcamp is today, no? That's it. And I can add a new conference here, the volcamp, and this is on my first microfontaine, and I can see that on my second microfontaine the volcamp is rendered. And for example, I can say, okay, I want to add also the devox, and I think the devox will be happening in September this year. Don't know exactly when. Let's say, for example, the 14th. Not sure. And I can click and save, and now I can see that I have the devox and I have the G4K, of course, and etc. And click and save. And because maybe the G4K already happened, I can decide to remove it. Okay. So we have one microfontaine at the left and right, in another one microfontaine at the right, and they can communicate each other just like that on the same page, because we generate them here, push them on the different, well, not the different, on the repository as we did for the Docker image, and then deploy on the component repository and then install them to make them available on this Entando application, and create a page, test project we can access, and we can do anything we want. And we did, and we finished. We did everything I said. So how many times it took? Oh, maybe, okay, I said 1 hour and a half, but it's 1 hour and 20 minutes. So we have 10 minutes left. What I have in my backpack for you, I have a note, so because sometimes I'm missing something, maybe. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, just some tips. If you want to, yeah, because we saw that here. No, let me get the documentation back. When you do publish, or when you do a build, as we saw, it's build everything and then it publish everything if you use this command. There is a way to, for example, only publish or need to build the microfontaine's elements. In this case, you can check the ent CLI. So I can, for example, if I use ent prg help, okay, you can see that for the front end you can do the front end build, so it will be ent prg fe build, just like this. or fe push if you already build your application. And even if you run the build, for example, we can test it. You can say that, oh, maybe I can, yeah, let's do it. Let's change something and try to check if or we can rebuild and redeploy it. I think just a quick thing. So what we can do here, we have the save button. Okay, maybe we can change to save to anything else, I don't know. So it's coming from the form widget. Oh, maybe I will save. Are we publish? Oh yeah, save is probably not the bad thing. Save. Can I find where save is? No, to save. Form widget, yeah. Yeah, I think it's, I need to, yeah, I'm a bit lazy. I wanted to use the search feature from, but I need to check by myself. Locals, I think it's here. And we have this save. And we can change to save save to. This is the new version, so we can say save to button. So I expect the save button will not contain save anymore, but save to here. Okay. So I made the change, and then the goal will be to publish. Well, will be to build again, but only build this micro front end and push and deploy. Okay. So, and I will use npg fe build. Oh no, end. And so I can choose. So I have UI widgets, conference table. So I said it was the. Oh, I don't remember. It's the form. What I have, form widget, and I just want to be sure I use the right widget. Where is my page? I can access to the design page. Form widget. Okay, this is the form widget, and yeah, so this is the form widget. So this is the tree here. So I can only select the widget I want to build. I don't need to build any widgets, all the widgets. I just need to select which one. Where, so we have question, where does come from the domain name? Does it generate it by the tool? Do you mean this quick start Entando? Do you mean this domain name? If this is your question, yes, this is generated by the NCLI when you, because it's running on the virtual machine. So yeah, so this is generated by the tool. Yeah, when you install the Entando application, when you install the Entando application, it gives you the URL, the right URL here. Okay, so I only regenerate the form widget, micro frontend form widget, and then I need to only publish. So it will be npg fe push. Is push. Yes, I think it's push. Yes, it's push to only publish the micro frontends. And yeah, the only things we need to have in mind. So we can't. We need to publish all the things. We can't publish only, for example, well, we need to tag everything from the bundle, of course. So we need to choose a new version. So if a micro frontend change in the bundle, it means it's a new tag, of course, because it's a new component into the bundle. The bundle wrap everything. Okay, no common version. So I should have a new version of my version 2 published. Okay, I should have a new tag. Yeah, I have a new one. I have a 2. Perfect. good. Perfect. And I guess I have a new commit. Yeah, this is my commit. So what the commit contains, so it pushed a new main.js chunk, some JS. Okay, it just changed 2 JavaScript files. So these files have been generated by the build step. So we have a new version. We have we build and we publish it, but I guess if you go into the repository, you can see that the latest version known by the into the component repository is still the 001. So we need to deploy it again. So in this case, no, where is my here? You need to do the end purg deploy again. So this command will just let know the Entando component repository that a new version is available for this bundle. So it should be quite fast. Yeah, finished. And if you go back here, you should be able to see that we have the v002. So now I have 2 different possibilities. The first one is to uninstall the v001, but my widgets are in use in a page. So I need to remove them from the page, then uninstall, because the system will not allow me to uninstall a bundle that is in use. Okay, so I can, well, probably I don't want to do it because I have only one page here. So I will say, okay, I can't, it's only one page, so it's not a problem. But imagine if you have a lot of pages, imagine if you have a lot of contents that use any other components you install with this bundle. It's probably not something you want to do. So there is another solution. Another solution is to still use the end CLI here and instead use the install just like we did before. But the only things that you need to add here is to specify a conflict. Oh, I'm not on the right screen. A conflict strategy, a different conflict strategy. Why? Because the system will detect that the components that we are installing in this bundle are already present in this system. So in this case, it doesn't know if we should keep the old one, the new one, or it doesn't know. So it can't make a decision for us. So in this case, we need to tell it, okay, you can override them. You can override the microfrontends because this is exactly what we want. I have changed something in my microfrontends, and I want to be sure my I want to be sure that my Entando application will use this new version. So I want to override the microfrontend with the new version. So I just need to do the prg install and use the conflict strategy. So we need to, of course, we have a new installation in progress, a new installation step, and if everything oh no, I have an error here. Okay, terminated. So I guess this turned bad. Latest version. Oh, I have no components. What happened? What happened if I do it again? No. So what is my possibility? I can probably use the end kubectl get put, and I think it's the quick start server deployment. So I can end kubectl logs quick start cm deployment here and get the log. Try to understand exactly what happened. Is this one skipping? Well, I can't see anything strange here. Mm. This is the first time I meet this error. Of course, because this is a demo, so for sure I have a demo effect. I don't know exactly what happened. The only strange thing is I can see that my components are not available here. Oh no, is available. Okay, it was back from the UI. Okay, so I still have the 001, so I guess I can still access to my pages, to my page. But as you can see, I don't have the new save button because the deployment, the installation failed. But the only things I can't understand is why it's failing. And PRG install. Yeah. It started. Okay. Terminated. So I guess it should be better right now. Yeah, it's working. So well, to be honest, I don't know what happened. I don't understand exactly what happened. So I didn't meet this problem before. So I guess maybe it's a problem that's coming from any network things or something that should not happen. I don't know. This is the first time I see these things. Maybe it's related to my environment too. So I expect that from the first command I ran. Okay, so I have that. I have the install is complete, and we can see that no, the latest version is 002. So we make the change. We make the change. We published. We rebuild only the front end, the micro front end on which we make the change. We republish all the things, but not the back end, only the front end, because the back end didn't change anything, with a new tag. And we deploy the new the new bundle, and you can see that the deployment was very faster that we did on the first time, just because in this case we only change just one micro front end. So the system detects that the modification only contains is not related to this macro front end, and so it's faster that only deploy everything. If you go into the page right now, you can see that we still have the test project, and if I reload my test project page here, I can see that we have the save too. So we deploy a new version just by did some modification on one element, and save time by only deploy and install it from the end CLI. And that's all. And we did everything for today. That's good. So if you have some question, feel free to ask. Anyway, as I said, so this video will be I think I will try to put it on YouTube. If you want to learn more about Entando, please be sure to check the dev.entando.org website. So on this you can check you can check the blog, you can check the dog tutorials or everything. You can also use the quick start and use Entando in few commands. If you check the blogs, you can check also we are a lot of content that are incoming in the next weeks. We started here, but we have a lot of things that are incoming. So if you want to learn more about the micro front ends, about the Entando, about the CLI, about the bundles, I have a lot of things about the bundles, and especially this session, I have. I think I will do a blog post that will get all the things we saw in this session to have it on a blog post. So it probably could be easier to understand, to have something in a different format. Okay, so more than 1 hour and a half. So it's time to get something to eat because it's nearly 5 p.m. here. I'm very happy to spend this time with you. I hope you enjoy too. I guess we can, we'll do, I hope also, but not I hope and not I guess. I will do more things in the futures, just like this, and probably the next thing will be to render some cool things, some cool blog posts on the Entando blog. Thanks to all the viewers. Thanks everybody. See you and have a good day. Bye bye.